Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you from the heart today. This is my best life advice, and I'm not giving it to you from a place of theory. I'm giving it to you from experience. I've been broke, embarrassed, laughed at, and counted out. I've slept in my car, I've missed meals, and I've wondered if I was crazy for believing in a dream nobody else could see. And if there's one thing life has taught me, it's this: your life does not change until you decide it must. Let me tell you something that changed my life forever, and I want you to really hear me when I say this. You were not created by accident. You were not put on this earth just to pay bills, survive weekends, and count down to retirement. Inside of you right now is a gift, something you do better, easier, or more naturally than most people around you. That gift is not random. It is the clearest clue God ever gave you about your purpose. Too many people spend their whole lives asking, "What should I do?" Instead of asking, "What was I born to do?" Your gift shows up early. It shows up when you're young. It's the thing people always come to you for. The thing they say, "How do you do that so well?" But somewhere along the way, life talks you out of it. Bills show up, responsibility shows up, fear shows up, and suddenly you start calling your gift unrealistic, childish, or impossible. Let me be real with you. Your gift is supposed to scare you a little. If it didn't, it wouldn't require faith. Your gift is not meant to fit neatly into other people's expectations. It's not meant to make sense to everybody. That's why everybody doesn't have it. And here's the mistake people make. They try to turn their gift into a hobby while turning their fear into a career. You go to work every day doing something you tolerate so you can survive, while the thing you were designed to do sits on the shelf collecting dust. Your gift is not about you alone. That's another thing people misunderstand. Your gift is tied to somebody else's breakthrough. Somebody out there needs what you have the way you have it. Your voice, your mind, your creativity, your ability to solve problems, to inspire, to teach, to build, that's not just for your happiness, that's for impact. When you don't use your gift, the world misses out on what only you could deliver. Now don't get it twisted. Walking in your gift doesn't mean the road will be easy. When I decided to chase mine, I was homeless. I slept in my car. I was broke and embarrassed. But I was alive. I was finally doing what I was built to do. And even when the money wasn't there yet, the peace was. That's how you know you're in alignment, when your spirit feels right even when your situation isn't. Your gift will make room for you if you commit to it, but you have to sharpen it. You have to work on it. A gift unused will die. Talent alone is not enough. Discipline turns gifts into destinies. You don't need permission to pursue what you were born with. You don't need everyone to understand it. You just need the courage to stop ignoring it. The saddest thing in the world is untapped potential. People don't usually regret what they tried and failed at. They regret what they never tried at all. Your gift is calling you. It's been calling you. And every day you delay, it gets quieter, not because it left, but because you stopped listening. Let me talk to you about fear, because fear has stopped more dreams than lack of talent ever could. Fear is the loudest voice in the room when you decide you want more out of life. The moment you say, "I want better," fear shows up and says, "What if you fail?" When you say, "I want to try," fear says, "What will people think?" And too many people listen to that voice like it's the truth, when really it's just a test. Fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signal. It's life's way of letting you know you're standing at the edge of growth. If you weren't meant to go there, you wouldn't feel anything at all. The fact that you're scared means what you're reaching for matters. Comfort doesn't produce fear. Average doesn't produce fear. Playing small doesn't produce fear. Fear only shows up when you're about to step into something bigger than who you've been. Most people are not afraid of failing. They're afraid of being seen failing. They're afraid of embarrassment, afraid of explaining themselves, afraid of starting over when everybody thought they had it figured out. So they stay where they are, not because it's good, but because it's familiar. And familiarity becomes a prison when you confuse it with safety. Let me tell you something real. You cannot become successful without becoming uncomfortable. Growth demands pressure. Diamonds don't get formed in comfort. Muscles don't grow without resistance. And your life won't change without moments that make your hands shake and your heart race. Every major breakthrough in my life came with fear attached to it. Every single one. And if I had waited until I wasn't scared, I'd still be waiting. Fear will lie to you. It will tell you you're not ready when you are. It will tell you it's too late when it's not. It will tell you other people are better than you, smarter than you, more qualified than you. But fear never tells you the truth about your potential. It only talks about the risk, never the reward. And if you let fear make your decisions, you will always choose the smallest version of your life. Here's the thing, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward while fear is still talking. You don't get rid of fear and then act. You act and fear loses its power. The first step is always the hardest. The first leap is always the scariest. But once you take it, you realize something powerful. You survived, and every time you survive fear, it gets weaker. Some of you are calling fear wisdom. You say, I'm just being realistic. No, you're being scared. Realism without faith is just another excuse to stay stuck. Faith doesn't mean you won't be afraid. Faith means you trust God more than you trust your fear. If you're afraid right now, that's not a sign to turn back. That's a sign you're standing exactly where you're supposed to be. Let me explain something about faith that most people misunderstand, because a lot of folks think means sitting still and hoping life gets better. That's not faith. That's wishing. Faith is movement. Faith is action. Faith is getting up every day and doing the work even when you don't see results yet. Faith is believing in what you can't see while putting in effort you can feel. I learned this the hard way. I believed God had more for me, but belief alone didn't change my situation. I still had to show up. I still had to grind. I still had to prepare for opportunities that hadn't arrived yet. Faith without effort doesn't move anything. And effort without faith burns you out. But when you put the two together, something powerful happens. Doors start opening that logic can't explain. A lot of people pray for success but don't prepare for it. They ask for blessings but won't change their habits. They want new results with old routines. Faith means you start acting like what you prayed for is already on the way. You clean up your mindset. You sharpen your skills. You stop wasting time. You start respecting the vision you were given. Because if you really believed it was possible, your daily actions would look different. Here's the truth. Nobody sees the effort part. People only see the results and call it luck. They don't see the mornings you woke up tired and showed up anyway. They don't see the nights you stayed up learning, practicing, improving. They don't see the rejection letters, the closed doors, the silence. But faith keeps you moving when applause is missing and progress feels slow. Effort is your responsibility. Results are not. That's where faith comes in. Your job is to plant the seed, water it, protect it, and show up consistently. Growth happens in its own time. Too many people quit because they confuse delay with denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not happening. Some blessings take time because they require you to grow into them. Faith also means trusting the process when it doesn't make sense. There will be seasons when you're doing everything right and still struggling. That doesn't mean you're failing. That means you're being built. Strength, discipline, patience, those things don't come from easy wins. They come from pressure. And if God is allowing pressure in your life, it's because there's something inside you worth developing. Let me say this clearly. Effort will expose what you really believe. If you say you have faith but won't take risks, won't step out, won't work on yourself, then you don't trust the vision yet. Real faith shows up in consistency. It shows up in obedience to the work. It shows up when you keep going even when the results are quiet. When faith and effort walk together, setbacks don't stop you, they shape you. Losses don't break you, they teach you. And even when things don't go your way, you don't feel defeated because you know you're still moving forward. That combination changes everything. Let me talk to you about comfort, because comfort is one of the most dangerous places a person can live. Comfort feels good, but it slowly kills your potential. Comfort tells you you're okay right here, even when deep down you know you were built for more. And the scary part is, a comfort doesn't feel like failure. It feels like stability. It feels responsible. It feels safe. But safety can become a cage if you stay there too long. Success demands that you let some things go. You cannot climb while holding on to what weighs you down. You cannot step into a new level of life while trying to protect the old one. Every time I moved forward, I had to release something: habits, people, routines, excuses. And none of it was easy. Growth rarely feels good in the moment. It feels lonely. It feels uncertain. It feels like you're risking too much. But staying comfortable costs you more than taking the risk ever will. A lot of people say they want success, but they don't want the lifestyle that comes with it. They want the reward, not the sacrifice. They want the applause, not the isolation. They want the outcome, not the discipline. Comfort lets you blend in. Success requires that you stand out. And when you stand out, not everybody will clap. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will question your choices. Some will hope you fail just to feel better about staying the same. Here's something nobody likes to hear: some people can't go with you. Not because they're bad, but because they're comfortable where they are. And when you start changing, it makes people uncomfortable with their own lack of change. So they try to pull you back, call you unrealistic, tell you to slow down. You have to learn the difference between loyalty and self-sabotage. You can love people without living at their level. Comfort also shows up as routine. Same days, same habits, same conversations, same results. And then one day you wake up and realize years have passed and nothing changed. That's why successful people are willing to disrupt their own lives. They challenge themselves. They choose growth over ease. They do what's hard now so life can be easier later. Letting go of comfort means being willing to look foolish before you look successful. It means starting over when you already invested time somewhere else. It means saying no to short-term pleasure for long-term purpose. And most people won't do that. That's why most people never reach their full potential. Discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is your teacher. It reveals who you really are. It forces you to develop strength you didn't know you had. Every new level of my life required a version of me that didn't exist yet, and the only way that version was created was through discomfort. If your life feels too predictable, too easy, too safe, that's not peace, that's stagnation. Growth should stretch you. It should challenge your patience and test your commitment. And when you choose growth over comfort, even when it's scary, even when it costs you, you start building a life that actually belongs to you, not one that just feels convenient.